We live.
Woo, woo. Thank the Lord to the game gods, man. Oh man, you learn by working, you learn by making mistakes. And we made a mistake a while ago that I never make again, but we are back. And this is a prime example how, the devil is a lie and we will not be stopped today. Like, you know how things go. Sometimes we get slowed down, but it ain't meant for us to be stopped because God said we're coming back online. We're gonna talk about this subject. Now we're gonna get straight back into the story because I have some friends over there in Ukraine right now they're not journalists, but they're trying to be journalists. They like my boy A1. They trying to start a YouTube page and they got people following them. So they willing to get down into the danger zones, into the war zones to get real live footage for y'all. So y'all understand, what's really going on behind the scenes because they don't have no internet over there. They don't have no running water. They don't have anything over there, to really project what's going on. Now the Chinese government, they selling internet service. They got internet, but the Chinese is trying to, they trying to price gouge on their internet service. They got the digital satellite internet service like Direct TV in America. Y'all know what I'm talking about? But it's a lot of things going over there in Ukraine right now, and people in America really don't understand the truth of why they're going to war right now. Why the situation is that escalated to the point where it's done escalated at. And I found out valuable information. The reason why the Russians are, really, why they are attacking the Ukrainians. And a lot of people I talk to, I discuss this with a lot of people. People, keep talking about that we're finna go into World War III. And if you really look at it, we have right now, they have like three major countries that's done came together that is willing to fight with each other. And if those three countries come together and unite, it's pretty much we in trouble because these are the like three toughest, roughest, like masculine groups of people, man. Like they barbarians. They love to fight. They fight with swords, knives, feet, sticks, bombs. They fight with everything. So if you ain't like physically prepared or physically equipped to defend yourself, like which the average American isn't, we're gonna be in trouble, man. And they finna and America is just steady trying to figure out a way to get into the American minds to influence them that we need to join this war. They even using like journalists right now that's over there. They got black journalists. Like today, if you look at the picture of the target of the conversation, they trying to address black people, involve black people in there. Like they got Africans that's from Africa that's trying to escape and get out of the harm's way, and they won't let them out of the borders because they told them that they was Ukrainian citizens once they signed up for college over there, and that the women can leave, but the men couldn't. And they started throwing them guns, and they were standing there looking at the guns like they don't know what to do. They don't want to fight, and they ain't gonna fight because this ain't their war. This ain't got nothing to do with them. They don't know what's going on. And you got to really think about it. Like right now, if we was to really go to war with, you know, join and get behind Ukraine or get into that war, and this war escalate to the point where our military troops are starting to die and they starting to, we starting to lose our people by the casualties, by the thousands, you know, we're gonna constantly send more troops over there to fight that war. Now, while we're doing this in the process, our military defense system at home is constantly getting weaker. And then you got to look at the economy right now as a whole, how our economy is divided, how the people are divided amongst each other with our politics, our politicians not doing what they said they was going to do, and they promises. And then all of a sudden, right now, you know, our government got the biggest problem on their hands is how they going to influence all these American people right now to get ready to fight or fight a war or get ready to go join a war. And in America itself as a whole, America's not doing what it's supposed to do for his people. But they finna bring all these people over here on asylum refuge, and they're gonna get all these empty houses that's left on the housing market. They're gonna start new businesses everywhere. You're gonna start seeing these 7-Elevens and Domino Pizza Huts and all these things starting to pop and surface up in America. The housing market just gonna completely just close up. It ain't gonna be a house available. It's gonna be waiting lists for houses to be built. Construction companies is gonna be overloaded. And then we got all these people in homeless camps in America and starving, and there's so many things, issues that we got to deal with amongst ourselves before we start thinking about other people's problems and worrying about what other people conflicts is all about, when they've been over there fighting against each other for the last 20 years. Now, if anybody don't like, some of the things that I'm talking about, I tell you straight up, I don't care, because what I'm about to tell you and what I'm about to share with y'all might make you think totally different about what the fuck is going on over there in Ukraine right now. Now, like I said in the beginning, this really started a couple weeks ago, with my homegirl Whoopi Goldberg, and she got caught up in a controversy and they ended up suspending her from her job, and she had to do a public apology. See, what y'all don't understand is that a lot of them people over there in these other countries, just like they say, they are the same. They just got different ideologies. They different groups of people. They different religion groups. They different, just different. But they all the same. Same group of people, man. You can't change it. And then if you want to change it, it's just sad that they try to say that, when you look at the white people in a whole, they don't consider themselves to be a race. You know what I'm saying? You can look at Germans and you can look at Ukrainians, which are Germans. They was just born in Ukraine, but their parents was born in Germany, like in Moscow. Like, I just don't understand how the same people who came up with an agreement a long time ago to live with each other and to agree with each other and abide with each other, let an infiltrator come in and infiltrate their government, a traitor, a comedian, an actor. Like, y'all don't understand. The president of Ukraine is an actor, comedian / they say he's a traitor. He's not really a 100% soul Ukrainian. Like, he got put in position so he can sneak NATO in and join the NATO alliance. And it's a lot of things going on. See, they don't think African Americans or brothers of color know, the true history of what goes on in other parts of the country. They don't think, niggas like us is knowledgeable like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna enlighten y'all on some things that's really going on that y'all don't know about, the reason why they are acting the way they acting over there. And there's two same group of people, but I'm liking Putin. Like, I'm really loving Putin. Y'all not understanding why I like this man and why I'm starting to see his or understand his reason or ration. Like, what y'all fail to realize is that the U.S. government has been the center eye of all bullshit that ever started in any country in this world. And in the last 40 years of me living, I just want to talk about the last 40 years of what I seen our U.S. government done went in and silently infiltrated every country, dictators, and had their own people kill them using a Facebook social media platform.
Hey, check that comment out in the check out the comment you got.
Oh, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. We got people in the comment section. I want to let y'all know we do have a call-in number. Y'all can call in. What's the call-in number? Producer, put the call-in number across the screen. If anybody feel like they got anything they want to talk about what we're talking about right now, or if they got any intel that they want to add to the show about, about what they feel like what's going on, y'all, we gonna give y'all a opportunity to call in and get a taste of this action that YouTube might block us out on for a minute, because because when brothers get to talking about real situations and real topics, and we get to talking about real conversations, the way we talk about it and the way we address it, they might not feel like it's appropriate, or it's how they say, sensitive material for some of the white ear audience members out there. But I don't like to sugarcoat nothing I talk about. I like to enlighten people with information that's truthful, that's really informative for their brain cells, so they can, if nothing else, they can figure out what to do for themselves if the time was to come to pass where they had to defend themselves in World War III. Because I see something that's about to unfold, and if it unfolds the way I see it, I really believe that we are doomed. We, as American citizens, people who live in America, eventually we will be doomed. Like, we not as equipped as we think we are. We not as smart as we think we are. We don't have the power and intimidation and scaring people like we think we used to. And this shit started way back World War One, World War Two, and now it's going to go to World War III. And it's just a coincidence that they gonna do it right around the time Queen Elizabeth is about to die. And Queen Elizabeth, they was the real shit starters of World War II, and how we've been dictated and controlled ever since by America and England and the France. Like, this is a new world order that they're trying to put in place right now. And see, Biden, and how do you say, all these dictators around the world, all these countries that's a part of the agenda of the new world order, or how do you say, the UN, the United Nations. They don't want to say new world order. They want to say United Nations, where it's just all nations united as one. You know what I mean? Like, united under God, like God. They want to say united under God, but a lot of these people don't serve God. A lot of these people don't have nothing godly in them, or believe in God with no thoughts in their mind. They believe in God. Like, okay. What name is born in Germany? Yeah, Germany. Um. Okay, I want to ask you a question. If you was born in Rialto, would you be a Southern California baby? Or let me give you a better instance. If you was born in Pomona, would you be considered an LA baby? If you was born in El Monte, would you be considered an LA baby? If you was born in Inglewood, would you be considered an LA baby? Let me ask you something. If you was born in Fresno, would you be considered a California baby? Like, it doesn't matter if you born in Ukraine and your parents are from Germany. Guess what? You are German. Your father German, his bloodline German, your bloodline German. Genetics, DNA don't lie. Just because you was born if I was born in Mississippi, but I live in California, am I a true Californian? Hell no, I'm a Mississippian. And I embrace my southern roots. And if we ever went into civil war and how do you say, in the United States, and if I had to defend the state that I was from, I will fight for Mississippi. Like, that's where my mama, my family at. I'm going to fight for my family. Like, what the fuck? And I'll fight all the way there. Like, but I just want to know, Like I want to answer that question because that's the truth. If your parents is from Germany and you're born in Ukraine, just because they moved out of Germany and felt like they can live a better life in Ukraine than they had you still German. That don't change your bloodline, your DNA, your person, the person that you are. So for 85% of the people that was born in Ukraine had German parents until the white man came in Ukraine and into the region and mixed rated with them, and a couple of them Africans they mixed rated with them. But you know, the Ukrainians, the Germans, they usually keep it solid, bloodline solid. Like you gotta be us in order to be us. And if you're not us, then you're not us. And they really would, you know, they really separate the two. Like if you really understand how those people are, like, but you know, most of them are Muslims. They most of them are Muslims. Like they believe in Allah, you know, and those the ones that stayed out there, the ones that stayed behind, you know, them was the Muslims. The Jewish people, you know, they had to, you know, because they pulled that move on Hitler, they had to come to America. They had to get the hell up out of there. But the ones that was, you know, Muslim, they stayed. And all the Muslims, you know, they all get along. They believe in Allah. They believe they live by the code. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You know, they will stone your ass to death over there if they smell like you gay. Like I'd be considered I could be considered an American. How did England? How did England instigate World War II? Baby, let me give you some American history. What you fail to realize is, don't y'all remember when Queen Elizabeth and her husband came to America, and they came over here and they said, "Hey, we need help." Y'all don't remember how we got bombed by Pearl Harbor at Pearl Harbor? You don't remember this shit, don't you? Like all this shit was the lead shit starters of all this shit, and then they turned around and blamed it on Germany. Like the Germans they took the fault for this shit. Oh yeah, but we ain't gonna talk about how Queen Elizabeth and what they call their royal regime over there, the the Duchess. Yeah, y'all know they even killed Princess Diana. Why you think the kids left the guy? They don't even want to be the oldest son. He wouldn't even come. He don't even want to be around them. He was like, no. He done came to Compton and married a black girl from the hood, and he like, no, you know, he living in they living in the States now. They living like celebrities. Like it's a reason why. He know the truth. That's why they making all these stories up about Princess Diana. And but the best story that they done came out with, you know, the most hidden lie that America ever hid in America. I'm telling you, y'all ain't never you think Jeffrey Epstein was a story, right? It was a man that had 10 times more than Jeffrey Epstein, and he lived in America. And he lived in America for almost 100 years, and everybody in America know his name. And his name is Hugh Hefner. He taught Jeffrey Epstein everything he knew, for real. But y'all don't want to talk about, we don't want to talk about Hugh Hefner right now. We're going to talk about what's going on in Ukraine, because it's a lot of crazy shit. I don't want to, the British bomb Pearl Harbor. Yeah, the British bomb Pearl Harbor. I didn't say it. You said it. Didn't Germany take Australia first? No, that wasn't the reason why. All right, man. I'm waiting on a special guest to come in real quick. You're supposed to be calling in. We waiting on you to call in so we can get you in. All right, man. I'm gonna just share this information with y'all so y'all understand why and how the war even started, right? See, in northern eastern Russia, they have a small militant group that's been fighting Ukraine for about some years now. They've been fighting over that northern eastern territory for years. Now, Putin has been funding them because those are true blood Russians that's fighting for their land and their country, their region up there. He's been funding them, you know, not, how do you say, Moscow army haven't been bagging them up, but he's been funding them ever since they've been fighting, to make sure that they, stay sustained, like, so they can sustain their side of the line. And, Putin been looking out on them because that's his people. But the Ukrainians let the NATO come in to help.
All right, cool. You right back. We right back.
All right.
You live.
All right, man. We are back. We are back with take two. Take two. This is take three. This is take three on the Mr. Snaggerpuss Ain't Shit show. We're gonna get right back to the information that I was just feeding y'all about how Ukraine cut off the main water supply to the militant Russian soldiers that was fighting, for their territory in northern eastern Russia, right? So when Putin discovered that they was using the NATO to bag them up, intelligently in that war, that made Putin, not to say his paranoia kicked in, but that made Putin see that, that president wasn't keeping his word, his bond, that, his verbal agreement that him and Putin had when he first became president. Because Putin made it very clear. He was like, all I want is that the NATO, the United Nations, and America denounce that they will allow them to join the alliance of NATO or the United Nations or America. Like, they supposed to stay independent, because while y'all trying to say Ukrainians, is really Germany. This is Germans. These are us. These are our people. And see, it wasn't for the Ukrainians to step in to defend anything. If anything was to ever happen in Ukraine, Germany would have been the first military defense that would have came to their aid to defend them. If any other country, England, Turkey, any other one of them countries would have tried to attack Ukraine, they'd have had to deal with. And so a lot of people don't understand why Putin actions is the way he's reacting towards them. And then he made it very clear. The reason why he didn't want them to join the NATO alliance is that he didn't want nothing that was, how do you say it, American influenced in any type of way. Like, if America had their hands in any parts of any type of organization that came into that region, they was not allowed. And Putin made it very clear, and that was his main reason. And when you say, why is he being so defensive? Why is he acting so paranoid? He's trying to rebuild the Soviet Union. That is not what he's trying to do. He's trying to protect the security of his nation. And if they let anything like that happen in Ukraine, then just like the same thing that happened in Libya, they people would infiltrate they people, then they people would infiltrate him. Then next thing you know, it's a uprising in a country, and they ended up, they end up killing Putin, chaining him down, and they don't want, Putin is not trying to be assassinated by his own people because of an American influence. He knows, they know that, America don't like them, and they've been trying to use him as the poster child for the devil. But the truth is that the real devils are the Democrats that we got running this country right now, and the, how do you say, the instigators and shit starters in America that we've been
Oh yeah, Wiz.
Hey, I got no love for these niggas, they don't need to be friends. I got big plans, we got big bands. Straight hustler, got the knots in my pocket. Ballin' like James Harden, playing for the Rockets, nigga. I had the block booming summertime with the dope. Damn near lost hope. Took a leap of faith and I rose. I stand 10 toes down with the shit. I cut ties for the shit, nigga. We some paper chase. We got the block on fire, remain the G. Until the moment we inspire, we know what it is. We're making something out of nothing, nigga. We making something out of nothing with some paper chase. We got the block on fire, remain the G. Until the moment we inspire, we know what it is. We're making something out of nothing, nigga. We making something out of nothing.
Picture me rolling, juvenile making bands, big vibes, big.